about your individual situation, definitely reach out to us. Danielle is a Women's Business Center consultant with us. She has worked with many of our clients. She's working currently with a lot of our clients to help them transition to wherever it is they need to go, help them pivot their business, grow, start their business. Believe it or not, many people are starting their business right now too, still. So definitely reach out to us if counseling or a training topic is something that you might need as well. I will drop my contact information in the chat box, so always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or need any assistance at all. But again, thank you all for coming for being on the webinar today. That's my in-house opening that I'm used to giving. But thank you for being with us today in the call this afternoon. And I'll hand it back over to Ms. Danielle. And thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sophia, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. We know that it is a very busy time, and so there's a lot going on right now, probably in your business, trying to, keep your business afloat and then implementing changes. So thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon. So today we are going to cover unemployment benefits, specifically as they relate to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is day 6 of our Women's Business Center COVID-19 Small Business Disaster Relief Series. So with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. If at any time you have a question, feel free to add it in the chat, or we're going to open it up at the end for questions and comments that we can answer. We would be happy to answer those questions, and any questions that we can't answer, we'll make sure that we find those resources for you. So we're going to go ahead and start the presentation. So today we are going to cover unemployment benefits, specifically FPUC benefits, and I'm going to tell you what those are in just a moment. My name is Danielle Marshall. I'm proud to work with the Women's Business Center, their businesses, and those people who are still in that idea phase, or like Sophia mentioned, those people who are actually starting businesses amid, the pandemic that we're going through right now, because they've seen innovative ways to kind of change things up, or they have found that there's a need that they need to fill. And so they are able to do that right now through the assistance and the services that we offer via California Capital, specifically the Women's Business Center. We have a few more people that are joining us. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. And so today we're going to cover what unemployment benefits are. We're going to cover a little bit of information about the CARES Act, FPUC, what that is, and unemployment. State of California requirements and their guidelines, because they're going to be a little bit different than what the federal guidelines say. They're going to be similar, but a little different. We're going to talk about who can apply for these benefits, when and how you can apply for these benefits, and then additional information we're going to provide for you from the Department of Labor, from SBA, from EDD, and a few others. So with that, so unemployment benefits or assistance. So the portion that we're specifically talking about today is going to be the provision under the CARES Act. That's the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation. This is an emergency program that was designed to increase unemployment benefits for millions of Americans that have been affected by the 2020 novel coronavirus pandemic. It was established as a provision of the CARES Act. That was a $2 trillion of coronavirus emergency stimulus package that was signed into law March 27th. We have gotten additional funding through the CARES Act, a second round of funding actually, that was actually released today, and that relates more to PPP, so that's the paycheck or the payroll protection program, and then the emergency, the economic impact disaster loans that people are getting to continue to run their businesses. Just kind of a side note, those portals did open this morning at 7:30. At last check on Friday, we had been on a webinar with SBA, and there were 1 million applications that were still in queue. So a lot of banks weren't sure if they were going to open up their portals for those additional loans, but they did open them up as of 7:30 Pacific Standard Time this morning. So I guess that would be 10 a.m. Eastern, or 10:30. All right, so just some quick information for the FPUC, the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation. Again, it's an emergency program that was established. So it's over and above what we would typically think our unemployment benefits are. And they are for Americans who are out of work because of the COVID-19 pandemic. People who collect certain unemployment insurance benefits, including regular unemployment compensation, will get an additional $600 in federal benefits each week through July 31st, 2020. So even if you get regular unemployment insurance benefits, this is kind of a topper. This is an additional $600 per week that you would be eligible for until July 31st, 2020. Now that might go past July 31st, depending on, but the information that we have right now is that those benefits are going to be available until July 31st, 2020. The CARES Act also established that the compensation extends regular unemployment benefits for an additional 13 weeks. And that's a pandemic unemployment assistance program. So it's a different program, which expands unemployment insurance eligibility to include self-employed, freelancers, independent contractors, and people who work part-time as well that have all been impacted by the coronavirus, meaning your business as a self-employed has had to either slow down or stop. You can be an independent contractor for your own company or for others, and maybe they're not able to provide work for you. You could be a freelancer, so somebody who is employed through the gig economy, meaning you drive for Uber, or you work with like DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that. Anybody who's in that gig economy right now would then be eligible for that pandemic unemployment assistance. It's going to be different. So typically as an employee, you pay into unemployment benefits, and that's where your regular unemployment goes. This is an additional program. I want to make sure that I make that information, or put that information out there. The other thing is that under FPUC, eligible people who collect certain unemployment insurance benefits, including regular compensation, again, will get an extra $600 in federal benefits each week. You're going to be able to apply for these benefits online, and I'm going to talk about that just in a second. A lot of people, we've gotten a lot of questions over the past week during our webinar series, and people are wondering, well, I've been applying for unemployment and I keep getting back these 0 award letters. And the reason why those 0 award letters were coming back is because self-employed or sole proprietors and independent contractors were applying under regular employment, so you may not have paid into that. That is why you were getting these $0 award letters back. So under the state of California, our unemployment benefits are going to be run by the Employment Development Department. So they're making sure that we understand that this is also a provision of the Federal CARES Act. And we're making additional, or they are making it more helpful for those people who are self-employed or contractors, or maybe they have just a different work history who otherwise would not have been eligible for state benefits. Because of any number of reasons. You could be unemployed, you can also be underemployed, or you're experiencing an economic injury because your pay has been reduced as a result of the pandemic. It's important to know that it isn't simply because you were laid off because the company was downsizing prior to the pandemic happening. It's all going to it has to be related to the COVID-19. So you'll get up to 39 weeks of benefits, starting with weeks of unemployment beginning February 2nd, 2020. So in order to be eligible for the state of California benefits, you had to have been employed beginning February 2nd, 2020. And in addition, your benefits can actually be retroactive. And then they can go up until December 26, 2020, depending on when you became directly impacted by the pandemic. There is that additional $600 that you might be eligible for to receive as part of the separate CARES Act, the pandemic additional compensation. Only the weeks of a claim beginning March 29th through July 25th are going to be eligible for that $600 per week payment. So remember, I want you to pay attention to those dates. So for unemployment from the state of California, it's going to be February 2nd, 2020 through December 26, 2020. However, for that additional $600, until we get other guidance, it's going to be from March 29th through July 25th. Under the CARES Act, the additional benefits are going to be delivered through the U.S. Department of Labor. That's where the guidance usually comes from. And then it clarifies that most California benefits will end on the 25th of July. And then the legislation for the prior is looking like it will end on 12/26. But like we know with the CARES Act, that there was additional funding that came out because things are lasting a little longer than originally anticipated, and the request for benefits was more than what was thought going to be needed. There could be information that extends these benefits. So your benefits, again, like I stated, can be retroactive to the week starting on or after February 2nd, 2020, depend on when you were unemployed or out of work or underemployed due to the COVID-19, and regardless of when you submit your claim. So if you submit your claim, that claim can be retroactive back to February 2nd. And it's all going to depend on when you last worked and became unemployed due to reasons directly related to COVID-19, or when your income was lessened if you're a sole proprietor, a contractor, or self-employed. You are going to make sure that you keep financial records. So those could be your bank statements, those could be, you know, your Schedule C from your 2019 taxes, 2018 taxes, though 2019 we haven't had the direct file date that has to happen yet. The other thing is, if you do utilize a payroll company, you can use those payroll records as well. But you are going to have to be able to provide proof that you suffered an economic injury as a result of COVID-19 for these benefits. It is a self-certification process, and we had an attorney on this morning's webinar that explained it is all self-certification. But if the EDD comes back and they say that they want to know for sure that you suffered financially as a result of COVID-19, you just need to make sure that you have records available to show. And that could be your bank statements, it could be your pay records, it could be taxes, it could be Schedule C. If you're, incorporated, it could be your K-1 that you file. So we talked about the pandemic unemployment assistance, or the benefits. They're payable even if you don't qualify for unemployment benefits in California or any other state. This is a federal benefit. So this, again, it includes your business owners, your self-employed individuals, your independent contractors, and you can also be eligible if you qualified for regular unemployment benefits. But you've already collected all the benefits for which you're eligible. So when you pay into unemployment, or your employer pays into unemployment, you only get those benefits for a given amount of time based on the amount of money that's in that account for you. It's an unemployment benefit account for you. Once you've exhausted those benefits, you're not going to get anything additional under regular unemployment. However, under the PUA, you are eligible for that additional $600 per week. So here are some eligibility requirements based on EDD's website. These are actually just copied and pasted just to make sure that I don't interpret it my own way and that I don't give you wrong information. So eligibility: if you've been diagnosed with COVID-19 or experiencing symptoms of COVID-19 and you're seeking a medical diagnosis, you would be eligible. If you are unable to work because a healthcare provider advised you to self-quarantine, meaning maybe you've come in contact with somebody who has been diagnosed, or there's the perception that they have COVID-19. A member of your family may have been diagnosed with COVID-19, and that would assist with creating your eligibility. If you're providing care for a family member or a member of your household who's been diagnosed with COVID-19. Some of us have small children in our home. So if there's a child or another person in the house for who you are the primary caregiving responsibility, and maybe they can't attend school, or the typical care facility that they would go to is closed as a result of COVID-19, and so it changes the way that you have to work, or you can't work because you're providing care for those individuals, then you would be eligible. If you're if you become the major breadwinner or the major supporter of your household because of the head of the household has passed away as a direct result of COVID-19. You may have had to quit your job because of the pandemic. Your place of employment may have closed, and that's true for quite a few businesses right now, that they've had to temporarily close your door. So then that would make you eligible for these benefits. Maybe you were scheduled to start a job or start a new project, and you're now unavailable, or that's now unavailable as a direct result of COVID-19. Maybe you're unable to reach the place of employment as a direct result of COVID-19, the public health emergency. So it could be that public transit was your method to get back and forth to where you had to go, or ride sharing, or whatever it is. But because of COVID-19, you're unable to utilize those means of transportation. And then again, if you work as an independent contractor and you have reportable income, meaning you can prove it via bank statements, 1099s, or anything like that, you will also, or may also qualify for those PUA benefits. So that's those additional $600 per week benefits. Or maybe you're just severely limited to what you can do as a self-employed independent contractor, gig economy worker, or sole proprietor. So all of those are going to make you eligible to apply for these additional benefits. So what do those benefits look like? So this is based on a $167 per week. Say your unemployment's based on the EDD calculator that you would get from their website, says you get paid $167 per week as a result of COVID-19. So that could be backdated to February 2nd, to March 28th. So the first phase, so phase 1, means you would get $167 per week from February 2nd to March 28th. Phase 2, now that is where that additional $600 kicker comes in. So that's where the $600 per week, in addition to that $167 you were allotted based on their regular unemployment. So now that is an award of $767 per week, and it's going to be during the period of March 29th through July 25th. Now, the reason why that is the way that it is that's when the CARES Act was signed into law. So that's when that additional $600 kicker applied to unemployment and those in the gig economy as well. Phase 3, once that 13 weeks or that March 29th through July 25th time frame runs out, you're going to go to phase 3, and that's where you get that that's where you go back to your $167 per week for each week from July 26th through December 26, 2020, if you're employed due to a COVID-19 related reason, up to 39 weeks, minus any weeks that you got regular unemployment or certain unemployment benefits that you have received. This is not disability insurance. That is a completely separate thing that you can get additional information from California EDD. This is directly related to the FPUC, so the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Program. So typically in the state of California, unemployment benefits range from $50 per week up to a maximum of $450. Most people hopefully will land somewhere in there, but just know, even if your award is $50 per week, you add that $600 during that phase 2, that March 29th through July 25th, and then your award goes to $650 per week, or $1050 per week. So just imagine if you were displaced or from your job as a result of the pandemic, and you got that additional $650 per week. Let's say on average, 4 weeks per month, that's $2,600 that's going to go back into your income. If it's 4.5 weeks, it's going to be $2,925. So what would that additional monies look like to you and your family? That's a question that you want to ask yourself when deciding if you're going to apply. If you are on the higher side, meaning you are awarded that $450 per week plus the $650, you would be getting, it says $1050 per week. So that would be just a little over $4,000 per month. They do it based on weeks because certification is based on weeks. And so what Parveen was saying this morning on this morning's call, the employment law attorney, is that you want to make sure that you do it based on your weeks, not a monthly check. Some weeks have a few more days than others, or excuse me, some months have a few more days than others. So that week is going to be extended. So when should you apply and how? So when we began this discussion, I mentioned that there were some people who were coming back saying, you know, I'm a sole proprietor, I'm self-employed, I, you know, have only had my pay lessened shortly, but the amount that I was given by EDD says that I'm eligible for $0. Well, the reason why that was coming across that way was because they were applying under the regular unemployment benefits versus the pandemic. So EDD will actually officially begin accepting online applications for the FPUC for the additional, the $600 program tomorrow. So tomorrow when the websites open up, and I would say get, if you're looking to apply as early as possible tomorrow. That's a completely different self-certification what portal that's going to be there. So this is EDD's website. It's going to be edd.ca.gov, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, that's the PUA. You will need to have or create an EDD profile. If you have had one previously, you'll need your login information. So Parveen was saying that there's an email that you can send if you've had unemployment benefits in the past and you don't know what your login information is. You can either email or you can call them. The likelihood of you getting through at this point is going to be kind of hit or miss. It really just depends. I do know that EDD has started to do kind of a mass hiring so that people can can answer the phone for unemployment benefits, similar to what the Small Business Administration has done, where they've hired people for the call center type environment. If you are unsure if you're an independent contractor or an employee who could be eligible, what it's stating on the EDD website is that file for regular unemployment insurance and they will determine for you if you're an independent contractor or an employee who could be eligible for benefits. I would recommend, and this is just me, I would recommend that you apply for PUA as well. Once you're approved or disapproved for benefits, they will send you information about how to proceed. You will self-certify your income and utilize the EDD calculator to determine your amount of benefits over and above whatever that $600 is. So remember, it can be retroactive back to February 2nd. So that calculator is going to tell you what you were eligible for, in addition to what that $600 is that is provided by the federal government. It says on the website that it takes at least 3 weeks to process a claim for unemployment benefits and issue payments to eligible workers. However, the information that we received this morning was that if you already have your EDD logon and you already have the payment mechanism there for your direct deposit, it can take 72 hours up to 7 days. So it really just depends on if you have the information for your account and you already have payment information or ways for EDD to get you your money available. On the website, however, though, it is saying up to 3 weeks, but remember, it is retroactive. So even if it takes a few weeks for you to get that benefit, I know that it is frustrating and it can make things a little scary. You will be compensated for the weeks that you've had to wait as long as you submit that information. If you were issued an EDD debit card in the last 3 years, you will receive your benefits paid to that card. If the card has expired, a new card will automatically be sent to you once funds are available. So if there's nothing in their account, chances are they might not send that card right away, but once funds are available, you will get it. I would say be as proactive as possible with regard to getting your benefits. So if you've lost it and you want to try to find out how you can get another one, you can access through Bank of America's online account system and set up your one-time or recurring direct deposit to the financial institution of your choice at no cost to you. You're going to go to Bank of America's EDD debit card portal that's actually also listed on EDD's website, because they are who the provider for unemployment benefits. You can contact Bank of America directly at 1-866-692-9374. Be patient. Again, this is information that's directly been kind of copied and pasted from EDD's websites to make sure that I'm giving you the correct information. It might take a little bit to reach a representative by phone due to high call volumes. However, Bank of America is going to be able to get your online banking information set up, to get your reoccurring or your one-time deposit set up to your financial institution, or you're going to get paid on those EDD debit cards. Please understand though, Bank of America will not be able to tell you what EDD has approved you for until they get the amount to give to you. So calling Bank of America to find out your EDD benefits, it's not going to be beneficial because it's a completely different responsibility there. So Bank of America manages your money, make sure you get paid. EDD issues money, make sure that you have your account, and that's where you're going to apply for your benefits. So here are information or websites that can give you additional information on these unemployment, the PUA, so the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and then the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Program as well. So the Department of Labor, so www.labor.ca.gov/coronavirus 2019. So that's going to come from the California Department of Labor, where they can give you additional information. I would also like to add there are additional programs and information if you are an employer as well. So you could be the employer and the employee in this situation. So there's additional programs that are there. That's also going to give you information for you to give to your employees so that they can apply for the benefits that they need. Maybe you weren't selected, or you did not get funded for the PPP or the emergency loan, the economic injury disaster loan that was available. So that your employees can actually go and apply for benefits here as well. This is EDD California, their information. So tomorrow, first thing tomorrow, if you plan to apply, you're going to go to this website, and then the California Chamber of Commerce also has advocacy and information on their website. So we're going to make sure that this information is available for you as well. I also want to share with you at California Capitol, if you do need additional information, and I know Sophia mentioned this earlier, this is our physical location. We are not in office, but we can assist you via Zoom, via WebEx, via email, or phone if necessary. So this is our contact information. That's also our California Capitol website. So if you do need additional information or you want to know more about the resources and services that we offer, you can visit us here at this website, and there's Sophia's email as well as mine. If you do need additional information, you want to know more about the business services we offer, how to create a business plan, how to budget for opening your business, how to have increased employee engagement right now, how to pivot if that's what you're going through, and a host of other resources. Or if we need to refer you to our in-house lending, our micro lending team, or our overall finance team, we can do that for you as well. So we today have discussed what the employment benefits are and what was added as a result of the CARES Act. We've discussed FPUC, so that's the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Program. And then we also did the PUA, so that's the Pandemic Unemployment. That's going to be your additional February through December. That's the additional 39 weeks of unemployment you can get, whereas FPUC is going to be that additional $600 per week you get over and above those benefits that you get under regular unemployment. Yes, this is eligible for employees. This is also going to be eligible to those who are self-employed, sole proprietors, and independent contractors. We discussed who can apply and how to apply. Remember, the portal officially opens on EDD's website tomorrow morning, so apply as soon as possible. Parveen was stating that, you know, sometimes the websites can't handle the capacity that's needed. So the earlier you get there, the better. And then we gave just a little bit of information about additional resources and where to find those resources that might be available to you as well. And then last but not least, for those of you who are self-employed, or maybe you own the company outright, you're independent contractor or sole proprietor, here's some other business resources that you can get to get more federal guidance. SBA.gov is going to be where you're going to go. California has a business portal for you. That information is there. There's EDD again. The treasurer of the state of California has information there on different loans, grants, and different things that will assist you. And then Save Small Business, that information has not come back up. That was actually through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, where they were offering small business grants. But as we get information, we make sure to share them with you on these webinars. So I would recommend that you do write this information down, that you do stay close to us so that we can make sure that you get the information as it's released to us. Alrighty, so I know that was a lot of talking. Hopefully you were able to catch some of that, write some notes, but we are going to go ahead and open it up for some questions. So feel free to unmute yourself or add your question in the chat. So we're gonna just start from the beginning. There was a question from Gina. She said, can signed contracts be used to as proof of lost income? Absolutely. So if there was a contract in place and you were depending on that income for your business, so even if you haven't received it yet, you haven't had that economic injury yet, but say that contract that was supposed to start Monday morning will no longer start because of the pandemic, then you can say, yes, there is an injury to me because I was supposed to be getting paid X amount of dollars for the next 3 months, and that contract has now gone away as a result of the COVID pandemic. So absolutely, that can be used as proof of lost income. There's another question from Lori. Was self-certification in the EDD calculator? Is the calculator available now? Yes, there is a calculator available on EDD's website right now. If you are looking for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance portal to open, that's that $600, that happens no matter what, but determining what that additional amount would be to you, you're going to determine that through EDD's calculator. Absolutely. So I want to let you know that if you do know other business owners, sole props, small business owners, and independent contractors, please do share this information with them, because a lot of people simply don't even know that there's a benefit available to them right now. So many people were focused on those federal loans, the forgivable loans, but the state of California, in the state of California, we have our own benefits as well as the federal pandemic unemployment assistance and the federal programs that add that additional $600 per week for eligible applicants. Are there any additional questions that we can answer for you? feel free to either unmute or add a question.
Yeah, a lot of my clients have been asking me what time tomorrow can they apply? Do they know? Do you know?
That's a great question. So we haven't been given a definite time. What we were told on the call this morning is that the EDD is open from 8 to 8, but chances are their website opens up at 5 a.m. So I would say check at your earliest convenience. I don't want to say go later on and then the website is jammed up and then people miss out on benefits, because as we've all seen, so many of the resources are kind of first come, first serve. So I would say just as early as possible. Thanks for that question. So somebody asked, are the benefits taxable? Yes, from what Parveen said, she was our employment attorney who was with us this morning. Yes, California does tax at a very low rate. Federal benefits are taxable. She said what she does is put 25% of that unemployment away just in case. What you do is going to be completely up to you. You are more than welcome to contact a tax professional. EDD can also give some additional guidance because we're not tax professionals directly. I don't want to give you misinformation. However, those benefits generally can be taxed. Yes. And I think adding an additional $2,600 on the lower end or an additional $4,200 to your household income will help to keep you afloat, even if it is taxed at a you know, kind of minimal. The other thing is that it allows us to be able to add to the economy that we're in. So we can still order food, we can still pay for daycare if we have to go to daycare, if our children have to go to daycare, and just the different things that we might need right now. And you might just really need it to pay your bills right now, because we don't know when, you know, businesses will change from essential to non-essential or things will open back up. And so I would recommend that if you're eligible, that you do apply based on the eligibility guidelines that are presented by EDD, the state of California, and the federal government. Are there any additional questions that we can answer? Sophia, do you have anything to share or add for today?
Nothing from me, just a big thank you.
Thank you.
Someone says my computer doesn't have a microphone.
Oh.
Okay, we can definitely wait if you want to, if you have a second to type your question.
Yeah, it's okay to type it in.
Yeah, in the chat box. I was curious if it is still appropriate to file if my employees are still working, but we aren't having as much income in the office.
That's a great question. So if you've had to pay them less as a result of COVID-19, meaning their pay has been reduced, I would say yes. So unemployment can help if you had a significant, especially this unemployment can help if you and or your employees have seen a significant decrease in employment income. Again, you just have to be able to show that there was injury. So if you're not able to open up, you know, you don't have as much income in your own business because you're not able to open up, you can't see patients like you used to, you can still provide proof of that economic injury as a result of COVID-19. You just want to make sure that you keep all of that paperwork somewhere where if you're asked, or if they're asked, they can, you know, show pay stubs. Look, this is where my income has gone down. If you're not able to keep them on your payroll as a result of COVID-19, then definitely I would absolutely highly recommend that they go to this portal to apply for those benefits. So the example giving showing the payroll summary, and there were months where payroll wasn't run. Yes. So then you can show there that you weren't able to pay them because there was, you know, either there was no work or payroll wasn't run as a result of it. So again, as long as there are records to show that economic injury, that you and they were affected as a result of COVID-19, I would say yes, have them apply. Again, they're going to give that information as well to EDD for that determination. It is self-certification. So on that application, there's going to be questions that they're going to have to answer, you know, such as, I haven't seen it, so I'll say such as, you know, has your income stopped? Has it been decreased significantly? And they might even ask what those numbers look like. If it's gone from, you know, and this is just kind of an idea, say their monthly income has gone from $2,000 a month to $200 a month. They would be able to show that. Or if there was no payroll run, they can show, look, I didn't even get paid this month because there was no work. So I essentially got laid off or, you know, furloughed. But that was a great question, especially as an employer and an employee. Oh, you're welcome. All right, any more questions for today?
Thank you so much, Danielle. It was really helpful.
You're welcome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. This was Sophia, the Women's Business Center director. This was an idea actually she came up with, that we kind of put this program together as soon as it happened. She said, we have to help people. We have to get this information out. So I'm thankful to be a part of this resource.
Okay, well, I would not be able to obviously do this without Danielle. I know we're going to go back and forth. We can do this days, but, you know, definitely Danielle has been a huge asset to the Women's Business Center. Denise and Gina, and, you know, I know that I've known both of you for some time now, and I don't know if you've had the chance to meet Danielle, but again, I can't stress to you all enough on the call. If you would like to talk to somebody about your situation individually, please reach out to us. Definitely, we're here. Virtually, but we're here.
Yes, we are absolutely here. So we have had the privilege of sharing time with everyone for a little over the last week. This is day 6 of the COVID-19 Small Business Disaster Relief series. So we have gotten a chance to discuss the Paycheck Protection Program, or the Payroll Protection Program, PPP. Economic injury disaster loans. We had Carlos Almanza, who discussed the different ways to access capital for small businesses. We discussed veterans programs. Being an Air Force veteran, it was really important to make sure that people understood, as business owners, sole proprietors, and independent contractors, there are special veterans programs that are available as well. Friday, we had a great conversation about mental health and how it relates to the employer and the employee. Today's topic is unemployment, eligibility, and then just what those programs mean for you and how to apply tomorrow officially. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss how to pivot your business. So if you have had to change the way that you offer a product or service, if you're looking for ideas, you know, to stay in business, maybe you need to engage with employees or your resources or the people you provide products or services to, or just different ideas we're going to discuss tomorrow. Wednesday, we will discuss small business lease and mortgage assistance, so how to prevent from being evicted or having foreclosures on both your business property and your personal property. And then on Thursday, we're going to have Isabel Guzman, who's the director of the Office of the Small Business Advocate for Governor Gavin Newsom's Office of Business and Economic Development. And I do know that the GoBiz portal opened up just this past Friday, so that competitive California Competes tax credit time frame just opened up. So you might, maybe let's say in the last year, maybe you hired additional employees before all this happened. Maybe you expanded your business or your service offerings before this happened. And so there could be additional tax credits that are available to you. So I would highly recommend that you join us for those webinars as well. And then maybe it's a situation where the resources don't apply specifically to you, but you can pass this information on to somebody who it can help. So thank you for that. Oh, I think we do have another question from Gina. Do you have a list of the local community banks who are processing PPP loans for non-customers? So as of, I want to say about 6 o'clock this morning, I went on and looked. And so Chase was actually they were supposed to start their portal and start accepting applications, but it's been these kind of brokers that have been accepting more additional PPP applications today. So if everybody didn't know, there was additional monies allocated by Congress to go back into PPP and EIDL that was released this morning at 7:30 our time. And places like Lindio, there was PayPal actually did it if you have a PayPal account. QuickBooks, there were all these different broker entities that were actually accepting the applications to broker those loans on your behalf. I do know that there was somebody who got approved via Lindio, actually through 5 Star Bank about a week or so ago. Bank of the West was also accepting applications. A lot of the banks, however, opted not to open portals because they had such a backlog of applications from the first go round. If I can find any, I think your information, or give me your information, if I can get any additional information before close of business today, I would be happy to get that information to you.
I did, hey Danielle, I did hear, this is Sophia, today from somebody that they went to 5 Star Bank this morning and actually signed up to be with the new account and applied for the PPP program today.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. So 5 Star had actually even stopped letting, as of the 16th, they stopped letting people do that. So that's great to hear. I do know that there's a 5 Star Bank on the corner of Del Paso, right before Natomas Boulevard. They're open till, I want to say 4. BBVA is another bank. They're online, but if you opened up a bank account, they were allowing people to submit those PPP loans. Wells Fargo is another one if you had a business bank with them, or there's some cases where they might be able to allow you to open up a bank account. What I will say though is if you do go to the SBA.gov website and you put in, you click on COVID-19 resources, specifically PPP, and you put in your zip code, it's going to tell you those qualified lenders that are within a certain geographic area closest to you. Oh no, US Bank is no longer accepting applications. So they were one that this morning they were accepting. I think things, in all honesty, just went really fast. I know that there were 1,065,000 some odd loans that were actually approved the first go round. And I do know per SBA, there was 1 million applications that were still in queue. So they didn't even get processed before the first round of monies ran out. There are some differences, like the programs have changed just a little bit. Guidelines have changed to try to make sure that more small businesses are able to capitalize, more true small businesses, I guess, are able to capitalize. So Gina, if I can find any additional, like Sophia said, I would talk to 5 Star Bank as soon as possible. There could also be a Golden One Credit Union. I know they were trying to help. American River was trying to help. Tri-Counties, possibly, if you go inside and you open up an account there. Tri-Counties are easy because they're inside most grocery stores. But I would just say keep trying, and the sooner the better. Anytime. Feel free to give us your information. I think Sophia probably has it, but I can reach out to you and let you know of anything I can find out in the interim. So, are there any additional questions that we can answer for today? Oh, Gina, thank you. I'm going to write that down. And then if you do need any additional business resource counseling, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. All right, Sophia, anything else before we wrap it up today?
Nothing from me.
Awesome. All right, well, with that, I know that your time is valuable. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. Hopefully this information was able to help. And you know, help us to work with you so that we can all get through this together. I know this is a frustrating time. It's a scary time. Whatever we can do to be a resource to you, please do let us know. Even if PPP and EIDL funds are exhausted, there are other state of California programs that are available to you. Now, the interest rate won't be a 1% and they won't be forgivable, but if you do need the capital to keep your business going, there are additional resources that we can offer to you. And then in-house, we can let you know about the micro-lending programs and the other SBA-backed programs that would be of benefit to you and your business. All righty, well, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon, stay safe, and we hope to see you tomorrow when we teach how to pivot your business. Thanks so much, and have a great day.